it's so important to get the AI right. You need to get the AI right. Because that's where you take in energy, that's how you get energy, that's how you spend energy as a person. And so it's important that, so that's our attitude towards either the inner world or the outer world, whether we get energy from outside or we get energy from within. Look at the 4 letters and take a look at your 2 letters. Just write the 4 letters on your sheet. Right. So I'm going to write mine, give it space. There should be space between them as you write it. Don't write it together. Now, write down the last letter of your type. Whether it is J or P, it's important. If you are J, you have to look for TF. If you are P, you need to look for SN. Okay? You understand? If your last letter is J, just put an E subscript. Okay, let me do mine. My last letter is what? J. Is J. So I'm going to put an E subscript on the TF, whichever I have. Okay, let's do for all J's. All J's. Okay, look for the TF in your type and put the subscript at that letter. All T's. Irrespective of what your type is. Irrespective of what your type is, if your last letter is J, look for the TF and put the subscript. If it's T, put subscript on T. If it's F, put subscript on F.
It has been very revealing. At the beginning, I was like, is there really much to learn about leadership that is worth spending the time? But I realized that it will make me a better person because I understand myself more. Finding my MBTI, that was important for me. The emotional intelligence also, how to, respond to issues, knowing, a conscious way.
I think it's a self-revealing program, causing one to appreciate who he is and his makeup. I think whilst I sat through, especially on the second day, I virtually became very quiet because of the way a number of the things were confirming who I was, and whilst I thought deep and reflected on my personality. So honestly speaking, it is such a self-revealing program. It brings the attention to even you yourself before it causes you to begin to think about how that affects other people you work with and other people you relate with.
The program has impacted on me in so many ways. I did not know my personality type until now. And I feel that, in fact, I should have done the assessment long ago, because the way I dealt with my colleagues at work, the way I dealt with my family, especially my children, were all because of my innate nature. But I didn't know that until I discovered it from this training.
I find this to be an excellent program in the sense that it enables anyone who takes part to be able to identify him or herself, knowing how this personality impacts behavior, and also to know that there are other personality types out there, and to be able to manage interactions with these people better.
Another thing that stood out strong for me is that you can keep preaching unity and unity and unity, but if you do not go ahead to preach about conflict management, you will still not be able to come to that true unity that you are expecting. So you preach true unity by also preaching conflict, and that helps to bring the right balance. These and more, emotional intelligence, are so many of the things I've learned in this particular training.
I think that the earlier you know it, you do it, you go through it, and you know yourself, the better you will develop as a person in choosing your career, in choosing even who to marry. It doesn't even mean that you choose someone who is like you, but whoever you end up with, you are better able to understand that person. So I would say everybody, but especially for leaders in any field, you need that to be able to understand yourself, to understand the people you work with. But I also see it as very important for parents. We say a lot of things that are damaging to our children just because we don't understand them. We try to push them to behave in a particular way. We try to push them to do particular subjects that may not be what they are packaged to do. So I think that there should be something for parents and, as I said, leaders in every field. It doesn't matter who you are leading, but if you know and understand those people, you would be able to better work with them.
So for me, my dominant is TE. The moment I see your dominant, I can tell you a lot of things about you. So write your dominant. Okay? So whichever of the letters in the middle is carrying the Sanskrit of your first letter is your dominant. How you feel about what has happened in the last 3 days. I'm looking around, I'm planning where to throw the ball. So the ball is going to come. I'll make it easy.
I feel if I don't have my team on board, I will not be able to explore the full benefits of the program. So I recommend it to all organizations, and it shouldn't be individuals. They should go in teams so that the full benefits of the training will really be realized.
I would recommend this to anybody who wants to find themselves in a leadership position, and I intend selling this to my head of department. When we identify our potentials, we should be able to come together to form a formidable team.
I think this is good for pastors, it's good for couples. I think it will be good for our staff. Gathers who work with students, or almost always with people. And I think this will be a very wonderful training for every single one of our staff team. I recommend to everybody. It will probably be good that there's a whole session that's just for a couples training going through MBTI. I wish my wife was here with me. Maybe it would have helped her to appreciate me better.